cost of differentiation. This is, as I said before, patience. Now we measure as search firm owners, we want to see very low patience. And now I'm asking you to be patient. The biggest whine I hear from, not necessarily the people in this room, but recruiters in general is, I want to be different. They don't love me. I'm different. Well, you know what? Most of you aren't. You call up and you take a job order the way 30,000 people are taking one. What are you looking for? 3 to 5 years experience. Great. Strong written and verbal communication skills. I've been doing this almost 20 years. I haven't found one to go, I really don't want to have a guy that can talk. Hopefully he can't write either. I mean, writing and talking are knockout factors. And we don't challenge the strong written and verbal communication skills. And 3 to 5 years, what, 2 and 6 are just, other knockouts. Instead of, so you have to, and I'm going to get into some techniques in a few minutes too on altering the job, but you have to change the way you take a job order. You can't ask what they're looking for. That's what they're expecting. So if you want to be different, you have to do what they're not expecting. There's a whole bunch of ways you can, you just think, what's the opposite? The old Seinfeld, George Costanza, do the opposite for any Seinfeld fans. Sometimes that's exactly what you have to do. I would generally lead with, what role is this person going to play, and what are some of the critical success factors? Basically, it's what are you looking for? But it sounds better. Discuss your candidate acquisition process. Very few recruiters do this. This is probably my key in getting retainers. This has been my key in getting exclusives. If you don't know what it is, you need to get one. You all have one, you just don't describe it, because there's a way you find candidates. We just don't tell people what it is. Now, little editorial. And I know based on my knowledge of the partners in this room, other than contract staffing, if you're getting your people, 90% of your placements off the internet, you're not a recruiter. We are paid to hunt. We are not paid to shop. People that recruit off the internet are shoppers. They're going and they're looking what's on the counter, and they're, okay, that one Tide and Post, Raisin Bran. And then they go, well, I don't understand why I can't clear 30%, or I don't understand why I can get a retainer. You're fishing from the same pond as their HR department. And one of the ways, again, not the people in this room, one of the ways we degrade ourselves as a profession is when HR sends over a guy on Monster printout, and the lazy recruiters, I've even seen them do this, they don't even put the freaking Monster resume into Word, because that's too much effort. They send it over in Monster, and they go, we're paying a guy 20 grand to get this thing that we subscribe for. So anyway, I'll get off the editorial for a minute. The other thing, on a patient standpoint, never, ever, I have no exceptions for this, quote the fee until do not quote the fee until the very end. Never quote it at the beginning. You get into a death spiral that the most skilled negotiator can't get caught up in, because then it's a matter of splitting differences, and you're in no position to discuss value at the beginning. And the other one was, as a success, and you have to be willing to walk away. If you have in your head that you have a certain line in the sand and you don't care, you got to create the attitude that you don't care if I get this job order. When you care too much about the job order, you don't get the job order. When you don't give two hoots, you can generally get a good job order, because they sense it like dogs sense fear. They can sense that you don't need it. And people want to do business with people that don't need to do business with them. Does that make sense? The best time, and by the way, and this is, I think, a key thing you guys, that we lose in this profession. We get so busy with job orders, we stop marketing, and then we wait to market until our pool's almost dry, so then we have that voice, that sound of desperation in our voice again, because we're refilling that job order funnel. The best time to market, even if you do it a half hour, 45 minutes a day, is when you have more openings than you know what to do with, because then it comes through with your voice without even training yourself that you don't need it. I'm only doing this because I have to. And the last thing I'm going to do is take your job order at 20% with 6 other recruiters working on it, because my manager's making me recruit on, I have these other ones at 25 that I have engagements on. Why would I work with, why should I work for you, Mr. Employer? That's a way to turn the tables.